In his video on Friday, CP said that we're not just paying a premium for icon tools, but we're getting gouged. We're paying way too much because you can get an entire socket set on Amazon with a different name, but it's the same tool. I bought the same kit because I want to get down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to take a deeper dive look into this tool set, compare it to the icon, and we're going to get down to the bottom of this. Now, I paid less than $40 for this entire toolkit. I'm going to give you a look at what's inside here. It's a crazy good value for what you're getting. This is the way it came here. Now we've got a socket set. This is 1/4 inch and 3/8 with some extensions and the ratchets. Now the ratchets, you'll remember CP saying the back drag on this one was way better than the icon. Let's check this out. So that looks really good to me. Now this is custom marked with EP Auto on the head of it. So far, first impression is not a bad ratchet. It's got good chrome on there, feels good. It's a little bit heavy in the head, so the handle is lighter. Let's check out the 3/8. First, a back drag test. So that works pretty good. Now this one feels more evenly weighted in my hand. A little bit heavy. It's a pretty stout head on there. But other than that, pretty good. The switch on it feels a bit light. Like it doesn't have a solid clicking action to it. With those teeth, they sound really good. One thing I'm looking at here is the sockets. I really want to compare the sockets to the icons because we haven't looked at that yet. So let's go shopping. I went straight for the ratchets. Now the first one I got was that 1/4 inch. It was $34, and then the 3/8 was $40. And I went to the other aisle there and got some sockets. Picked up this 12-piece chrome metric socket set, 3/8 drive, for $40. We've got the socket set, the 3/8, and the 1/4 inch. Before we open up these ratchets, let's have a look at these sockets. One thing I will say about this socket tray is it looks really familiar, like very familiar. This looks just like a snap-on socket tray, but it doesn't feel like one. It's a lot cheaper. You can tell there's a lot less material there, and this will not stand up like a snap-on one will. Not that that's a big deal, just an observation. All right, I've busted out the digital scale. This is just a postal scale, so it's not perfectly accurate, but I want to weigh these sockets. I'm going to measure the entire socket set. EP Auto first. It's got 10 to 19, and it skips 18. So right now we've got 10 ounces on the entire set. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them. So you've got 9.4 here, so you're off by about ½ an ounce between the two sets. These look almost identical as far as visually speaking, but inside the broaching is different. The EP Auto has fewer steps involved in the broaching, so it's not an identical copy. But you want to talk about copying? Let's go to Snap-on. All right, here's your Snap-on. This is a 19mm 3/8 drive. Look inside the broaching there. Does that look familiar? Here's the icon. That looks nearly identical, but even more so on the sides. This is what you look at when you look inside your toolbox or see what a mechanic is using on his ratchet. There's icon and there's Snap-on. Look how close that is. You've got this step here, same size step right there. The knurling at the bottom, same knurling. The font is just a little bit different, but from far away, these look like identical sockets. You wouldn't be able to tell them apart unless you really inspected them up close. So I think that's what this is all about here. Everyone's copying everyone, but it started with this right here. And I'm not talking about EP Auto. What I'm talking about is E-Ding tools. Not eating, E-Ding tools. This is a company that's been making tools in Taiwan for about 40 years now. They're doing a heck of a job. I think the chrome on this is decent. It's really good. Socket looks nice. Everything about this socket seems well made, better than the Chinese stuff. And that's kind of the point here. You can have a premium brand from Harbor Freight and you can have icons stamped into it, just like EP Auto stamped their logo onto an E-Ding tool. Icon stamped icon onto it. Harbor Freight doesn't make tools. EP Auto doesn't make tools. E-Ding Tool Company in Taiwan, they make tools. And they make gray tools or blank sort of generic tools. If you buy them by the 1,000, you can put whatever logo you want on there. And that's what you're getting from Harbor Freight. And this is what you're getting from Amazon. I will say that this icon is packaged really nice. The way that they do it makes it seem like a premium product. It is nice. Good presentation, but I don't know. Do you want to pay for that? Icon has this, what is that? Just a little tool shining cloth there. This is your microfiber cloth, I guess, to wipe the fingerprints off of your ratchet. If your ratchet is a toolbox queen and it doesn't get used much, but you want it to look pristine whenever you put it away, I guess you could use that. The switch feels a little bit better, a little bit clickier. Alright, you get your same icon towel there and the 1/4" ratchet. Let's see how this compares to the EP Auto. Have a look at that. That is really, really darn close. Now let's do a back drag test on the icon. Compare that to the EP Auto. All right, I've got some USA made and these Taiwanese made ratchets to compare the drive mechanism. They're all 1/4". They're all fine tooth. Now the Icon and the EP Auto are 90 tooth. This is Armstrong. Feels almost like EP, but this one is smoother and snap-on. The snap-on is the lightest. It's very smooth, very light. I like the sound of it. I'm going to put that as number 1. EP Auto comes in number 2, ahead of the USA made Armstrong. I like this a lot. It feels really good. Armstrong number 3. And then the Icon, it comes in last. It's got a really heavy back drag and it feels rough. They both have a T6 head fastener holding these together. There's a little bit of oil in there. I'm surprised to see that. This is the way the mechanism inside the Icon works. I'm just going to set it sort of into the neutral position here. And I should be able to just pull this anvil up and out. It's just a single pawl there that rocks back and forth when you switch it. Okay, I got that little ball detent out of there, and we can just kind of pull the switch out. EP Auto's got a different head design. It's got two screws holding the plate on there, but it's also got this screw right here, and that holds the switch in place. So that's a completely different design from the Icon. It wasn't tight when I pulled this out. It barely had any torque on it at all. So that could have fallen out. Okay, here's the switch, and I don't like the way that's designed. That spring or that screw is going to fall out. I would definitely take that out and Loctite it if you're going to get this set. Okay, back to the head. So the spring on the inside is pushing that cover plate off as I unscrew it. So I'm just trying to hold it in place with my thumb here. I don't want it to go springing and springing on me. Okay, dual pawl here. So unlike the Icon, which is just a single design, this has two pieces in there and a spring for each one of them. Can you see that? Let's be careful when I take it out. Try not to get these things flying out on me. So that little pawl goes right down into the groove there. Let me put this down quick here, and we'll have a look again at the Harbor Freight, at the Icon. You see all those teeth there? Now you got to cut it in half because this will rock back and forth and only catch half of these teeth at any one time. But there's a lot more teeth there than there are on the EP Auto. So that's score 1 for Icon. This is going to hold up much better in my opinion because of how much engagement you're going to have with those teeth compared to this one. Now the question is, were these machined at the same factory? Now the anvils are obviously different, but check out the teeth on there. The teeth are very similar. They mesh together and the width is exactly the same. Now the EP Auto has this boss on the back of it, which gives it a thicker profile, where the Icon has had that machined off. Different machining process on the same machine is what I'm saying here. Let's talk about this ratchet. You can buy these from eDing for about $5 a piece if you buy them in bulk. Now that bulk order, minimum order quantity is about 1,000 on this one. If you buy a minimum order of 1,000, you'll get your name laser engraved here on the head of the ratchet. You can import them into the US and sell them for about $40 for the entire set. Let's go back to eDing Tools there in Taiwan. Scroll through their website now, and you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. Look at some of these toolkits and some of these individual tools. I know you've seen them before, but they had different brands on there, different logos etched on the tool somewhere or on the tool case, but they're the same tools that you buy on Amazon made there in Taiwan. Now, Icon was coming out of that same factory, but with this new head design, I'm not so sure. We're going to keep investigating this, and when we have more answers, we'll bring them out to you. Before you go, let's answer the question, is EP Auto a professional brand? No, I would not use these in a professional environment, but I would definitely carry that case in my car or to the junkyard as a backup toolkit. I like it for that. What about Icon? Is this a professional tool brand? Well, they say it is, and it's definitely been upgraded. I wouldn't mind having a tool like this in my toolbox, and I'd say you could go for a lot of years because of what I've seen on the inside. It's a much better design. And side note, when I bought this, the cashier told me that he has never seen these come back. He said it's a really good tool. He almost congratulated me for picking this out. So that says something. He would definitely see them come back if they were, and they're just not. Is this ratchet worth $40 of your hard-earned money? Don't spend it yet, and maybe you're going to be able to get this exact ratchet for a lot less.